Good evening, everybody. All right. I'm sure you guys have heard of HR 347. Okay? And because of this, you've heard what Fox News is saying about it, and you're sitting there going, okay, we heard their interpretation. Here's the problem. I don't like when Fox News sits there and does not read the bill to you word for word. They just gave you their interpretation of it. Well, here on this YouTube channel, I'm going to read this to you word for word. And then I want you to compare what you just heard with what Fox News is saying. And then you decide whether Fox News interpreted it correct or not. Okay. Here we go. It says it's an act to correct and simplify the drafting of Section 1752 relating to restricted buildings or grounds of Title 18 United States Code. Now, at this point, what I would do is I'd look up Title 18 of the United States Code and look up Section 1752. Okay? Being enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled, Section 1, short title. This act may be cited as the Federal Restricted Buildings and Grounds Improvement Act of 2011. Section 2, Restricted Building and Grounds. Section 1752 of Title 18 United States Code is amended to read as follows. Alright, now we go down here. Of course, this thing is massively divided. Okay, and it says, whoever knowingly enters or remains in any restricted building or grounds without lawful authority to do so. Now, what I understand of this, okay, we have the White House press room. We have members of the press. They have their little well, I don't know whether you're going to call it neck chains or whatever you have, but it's kind of like a necklace, and it has on the bottom of it a press card, and so they can actually walk into the press room and listen to what the President of the United States is saying, and they can even ask him questions if they like. Okay? Now, let's say somebody entered that room without a press card. Well, that would be entering or remaining in a restricted building or grounds. Because when you're going to the White House press room, you either have your press badge or you don't get in, type thing. Okay? Number 2, knowingly and with intent to impede or disrupt the orderly conduct of government business. What is government business? Let's take, for instance, the House of Representatives. They are voting on a bill. And they're going to turn this bill into a law. Well, they can't themselves, but they can actually vote the bill, and then they can send it to the Senate. They vote on the bill, and if both approve, then they send it to the President. He signs it, and then it becomes law. That's the way it works in our country. But let's say the House of Representatives is voting on a bill at a particular moment in time. Now, somebody walks into the House of Representatives and starts making a ruckus while they're trying to do this. That's what this means. Engages in disorderly or disruptive conduct in or within such proximity to any restricted building or grounds when or so that such conduct in fact impedes or disrupts the orderly conduct of government business or official functions. To me, this would be like if somebody was standing outside the House of Representatives trying to block people from getting into the House of Representatives that needed to get in there, like representatives or the staff of representatives. That's how I see that. Knowingly and with the intent to impede or disrupt the orderly conduct of government business or official functions, obstructs or impedes ingress or egress to or from any restricted buildings or grounds. Now, you have to know the meaning of the word ingress. Let's find out the meaning of the word ingress. Okay? An ingress is an entrance to a building. Okay? Now, if that's the word ingress, we also then have to know, let's see, egress. Okay? That's the exit of a building. So basically, these people, whoever they are preventing official people from getting into a building or leaving a building. Okay? Knowingly engages in any act of physical violence against any person or property in any restricted building or grounds. Well, physical violence could be anything from a knuckle sandwich to pulling a pistol. Okay? Or attempts or conspires to do so shall be punished as provided in subsection B. The punishment for a violation of subsection A is a fine under this title or imprisonment for not more than 10 years or both if the person during and in relation to the offense uses or carries a deadly or dangerous weapon or firearm, or the offense results in significantly bodily injury as defined in section 2118E3, and a fine under this title or imprisonment for not more than 1 year or both in any other case. So in other words, if you stand there with a ball bat and break somebody's back, or you pull out a weapon and you try to kill somebody, this is going to make sure that you get punished badly. Alright? In this section, the term restricted building or grounds means any posted, cordoned off, or otherwise restricted area. Well, the White House would be one of those restricted areas. Okay? Of the White House or its grounds, or the Vice President's official residence or its grounds. Well, obviously, the President needs to be protected, and so does the Vice President. Of a building or grounds where the President or other person protected by the Secret Service is or will be temporarily visiting. Why do you think that the President of the United States spends 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in the White House? Probably not. He does often go overseas, and he often goes out to visit people in the United States all over the country. Take, for instance, one of those natural disasters, a wildfire, a tornado, a massive tornado, or even a hurricane. Well, of course, the president's going to go out and survey the damage. That's his job, amongst other things. Okay? Of a building or ground so restricted in conjunction with an event designated as a special event of national significance. And the term other person protected by the Secret Service means any person whom the United States Secret Service is authorized to protect under Section 3056 of this title or by presidential memorandum when such person has not declined such protection. And that's what the bill actually says. So, after hearing this word for word, the question remains, is what you just heard the exact way that Fox News interpreted this? I want to hear what you think. So go ahead, leave a comment or whatever down here below, and I'll go ahead and talk about this further if that's what you want to do. But do you see what I mean? I think Fox News should have read this word for word and let you guys decide what it really said. Alright, I will tell you more in a future video. Stay tuned.